let's move to the Timberwolves versus the Lakers. Lakers just a completely different team since obviously the Luka Doncic trade got a lot of people behind them as far as how far they can go in the Western Conference playoffs and potentially go the distance. But the Timberwolves are a very, very good shooting team. And as you mentioned earlier, Anthony Edwards, number 1 in 3-point shooting this season. So what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I don't want to go with like the general media and like just the pick of the Lakers being super easy like this season, but I think the Lakers take it in 5, if not 6. I just don't see a path for this Timberwolves team beating the Lakers in a series, and I think that the Lakers, this is probably their ideal matchup. If they had to play the Clippers or the Nuggets or even the Warriors in the first round, I think that LeBron has to exert himself a little bit more. I got this like from Chris Broussard a little bit, and it just got me thinking a little bit. I was watching First Things First the other day, and then he was talking about how LeBron kind of can take a seat back versus the Timberwolves versus like any of those other teams that I listed. It feels like both Luka and LeBron would have to give 100% every single time. There's also the angle that Luka kind of just hates Rudy Gobert, so he could kind of just take over that series and just will the Lakers to victory in like 4, 5, 6 games. So I just don't see like it'd have to take a monster performance for Anthony Edwards in like every single game that they win for it to really be they've regressed on defense. Obviously, they're missing Karl-Anthony Towns. Julius Randle isn't as good in the playoffs as he is during the regular season. I just don't see a path to victory, and the Lakers are just a really good team now.
Yeah, and I'll go based off of the point that Anthony Edwards just doesn't have enough behind him this season. Unfortunately, that Karl-Anthony Towns trade did kind of change the dynamic of this team. And as you mentioned, Luka Doncic against Rudy Gobert, 32.4 points and 43% on threes in last year's conference finals win. With the Mavericks, which feels like an eternity ago, but he kind of takes advantage of whenever Rudy Gobert's in that pick and roll scenario. And I just don't really see too much of a way that the Timberwolves can combat the Lakers offense without just trying to keep up on their own. And I just don't think they're going to be able to do that consistently over a 7-game span in a 7-game series. Look, the Lakers, for everything that the media tries to push about LeBron and everything like that, it does get tiring, but this Lakers team is definitely different this year with the addition of Luka. And it doesn't feel like a first-round knockout to me. But I will say, as the series goes on, I think everybody's going to realize how good of a shooting team this Timberwolves squad is, and that could potentially draw some eyeballs and be like, hey, look, like this Timberwolves team is really good. It's unfortunate that they made a trade that potentially, shipped away a guy that could have really helped them in Karl-Anthony Towns. Maybe this series is a little different, but we've seen all the Western Conference teams towards the top last year, except for the Oklahoma City Thunder, take a step back. So it's just been a complete kind of reshuffling of these teams. And I think the Lakers are one of the top teams of the Western Conference. So I don't think they're going out. And my pick, Lakers in 6, maybe. I don't know if this series can go beyond 6, though.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree with you. I'd have them. My personal pick would be Lakers in 5, and then Lakers in 6 would be the stretch pick. You mentioned the 3-point shooting for the Timberwolves, and I almost think that is not like a positive in their favor. I think that Anthony Edwards, I know that this take is a little bit tired, and he's been hearing it all season about the fact that he's taking too many threes. Why isn't he being as aggressive? I feel like here's it like almost every single post-game interview. Maybe that's a little bit of a stretch, but Anthony Edwards, it feels like he's at his best when he's attacking the basket and can get to the rim. Shooting threes, it just feels like it's a relaxation for the defense. They don't have to play all out every single possession when he's doing that, as opposed to when he's attacking the rim. That's how he was getting his buckets last year, and that's what kind of led them to being a conference finals team. Obviously, they had Karl-Anthony Towns and a better supporting cast around him last year, but still, like, he was the driver of that team. And when he went off, it was more so because he was driving the ball instead of shooting it, which he still was like decent at shooting last year, but he kind of reinvented his game this year. And I don't know that I fully like that. And I think it plays into the hands of the Lakers more than it does of like the Timberwolves. And I for that reason alone too, I think that Lakers should be able to kind of take care of business. And also, I wanted to highlight Austin Reeves is just he's progressively taken steps in the right direction every single year, it feels like. And this year has been like the first year he's consistently averaged 20 points a game. He finishes averaging 20 points per game for the first time in his career. And it just has been an all around great third guy for them. I feel like when it was LeBron and Anthony Davis, it was always going to be like, who's the third guy that can step up and score points for them? Austin Reeves has proven the season all season that he can be that guy. Obviously, the playoffs are a different animal, but I mean, Austin Reeves has been great for them this season. So I don't just want to make it about Luke and LeBron. Austin Reeves has been really, really good this season, and they also have guys like Rui Hachimura too. Like it feels like there's more depth. The Lakers team just feels better than the Timberwolves team.
Yeah, and I'll give this a point before we move to the Rockets and Warriors. I think that the one path to winning is, like you mentioned, Anthony Edwards more so attacking the basket here and just being generally or making this Timberwolves team generally the more physical and aggressive, bigger team. They are the bigger team. They have more depth in that area. They certainly don't have as many scorers. So maybe this path isn't just try to match their threes, score more than the other team in a sense of like just try to like rain threes on them and everything like that. Maybe it is slowing the game down a little bit and being able to use their depth as far as their bigs are concerned, and just making sure that Rudy Gobert doesn't get removed from this series. I think it would just be so clutch for them to have a rim protector and the Lakers not to have a rim protector. That would be their path, in my opinion, where they could get a couple games off the Lakers and then it's a series, right? Like I think that that's the way that they do it.